Hey everybody, I hope that you guys are all staying safe and doing well and looking forward to more hopeful times because they are eventually coming. This is not forever. All the craziness in the world, it's not going to last forever, and if we can just remember that, it'll help us as we go along. My name is Kevin Hampton. I was asked by Britt Stone, the education director of the theater, if I would come on here and just talk to you guys briefly kind of about stage management and what that is and what we do for a show. I am part of a wonderful team of stage managers. There are 4 or 5 of us who do shows with Little Theater. But I will also contract out other places. I have worked with North Carolina Black Repertory Company, Spring Theater. There is a long, long list of other places. And so today I thought I would come on and give you guys 4 essential qualities that I think are really, really helpful in stage management. If you're thinking about wanting to be a stage manager, these are 4 things you need to consider. If you already are a stage manager who just kind of wants to hear what another person has to say, then listen in. But to break it down to the bare bones of what it requires is it is essentially to keep the integrity of the show intact, as dictated to us by the director, and to keep the safety of everybody involved. Sometimes actors have to do crazy things in the name of a show, and so we have to do what we can to ensure that the show is being performed properly every show and that everybody involved remains safe. There's a lot of ways that that changes and things that that looks like, so with that being said, let's get into the 4 points, and then we'll come back and talk at the end about some different resources. Okay? So point 1 of the 4 points is organization. If you are an organized person, that is a wonderful thing to be. When you are stage managing a show, you're going to be keeping track of everything. You're going to be keeping track of the rehearsal schedule, you're going to be keeping track of actor conflicts, you're going to be keeping track of costume fittings and light cues and set changes and one thing then the other, and all of that is going to be compiled into this massive call book. Now, don't worry, not all of these are this big. This is just the most impressive one that I have, so I thought that I would bring that. I'm proud of this one. This was a great show. But you have to keep it all organized. Fortunately, most of it is going to be dictated to you by the designers, by the director, but it is essentially your job, no matter what, to compile it and keep it all in this book. That's going to look like production reports and sign-in sheets and transition notes and one thing then the other, but no matter what, it all goes into this big, massive book. If you're the kind of person that gets really excited and has joy in your heart when school supplies go on sale like it's Christmas, then you might want to think about being a stage manager, because otherwise that is just hoarding if you don't use them, and you may want to seek help for that. So that is point 1, is organizing. So the second point is that we need to communicate. There's no point in keeping that big book if you are the only one who's going to know what's in it. You're going to need to communicate to the cast. They're going to need to know when they say this line, they move to the left, and when they say this line, they're going to spin in circles to the right. If you're the only person that knows what's in your book, the show is going to be a mess because there's been a communication breakdown. So you're going to need to tell the designers, hey, the couch leg broke in rehearsal the other night. Can we get that fixed? Or, hey, this costume change is going way too slow. Is there a way that we can help this person in a 10-second costume change? If there is a communication breakdown, the whole show is just going to break down. There's no way around that. And so it's important that the notes that are in your book get communicated to the people who need to know them, because otherwise it's just going to be a mess. So that is point 2, communication. The third thing we need to talk about is problem solving, because no matter how organized you are and no matter how well you've communicated, theater is live, and that's part of the beautiful thing and the scary thing about it, is that things are going to happen live. No matter what, no matter how well you're prepared, things are just going to happen. That's the nature of the beast. And so it's going to be really, really important that you are able to problem solve under pressure and in the moment. I was working on a production of Young Frankenstein one night, and I heard from backstage, "Oh my goodness, the psych is not flying out. We can't get it to go up. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" And we panicked for probably 15 seconds. Just had a freak out. What are we gonna do? This is a problem. And we worked together, the crew and I, to solve it. We ended up pulling the weight out of the bottom and throwing it back over Dr. Frankenstein's lab, which was kind of a happy accident because under the lights it looked beautiful. But those are the kind of things that you're gonna have to be prepared for in the moment. Not everything is gonna go right, and you cannot freak out under the pressure. You have got to keep it moving, because once the show starts, providing there's no super big emergency, you have got to keep moving, because the audience came, they paid for a show, and they deserve the show no matter what. So point 4 is probably the most important, but also the hardest, and that is kindness. You are not always gonna be right all the time. And if you are a kind person, people are far more willing to forgive you for your mistakes, because everybody's going to mess up. That's just part of the process. Last summer, I was privileged to meet Andre DeShields, who is the current Tony winner for Best Leading Actor in a Musical. And he said to me, and I've always kind of believed it to be true, but when you hear it from somebody like that, it's just all the bigger. He said, if you are kind, kindness will take you further than talent, because people will remember how nice you were. So if you are a stage manager and everybody's stressed and you're ahead of your work, maybe go beside them and say, "Hey, what can I do for you to help make your load lighter?" Be looking for the small ways that you can be kind to the cast, to the designers, especially to the crew, side note, because they will save your life more than you want to think about. But if you can just be kind, people are going to be way more forgiving and way more cooperative to work with you. That's hard because you have to keep timelines. You have to keep strict timelines. The house has to open at 7. The show has to go at 7:30. The cast needs to be ready. It's hard sometimes, I get it, to herd 30 or 40 people and get them ready and keep them all on time. But at the end of the day, if you are motivated by kindness, people are going to notice that, and they will work with you a whole lot better. So that is point 4. If you can always remember just to work from a place of kindness. So maybe you've watched this and you think, maybe I can do that. Or maybe you already are doing this and are looking for some other resources to help, or just maybe to see what everybody else is doing. So this segment is just some quick resources and things that you can listen to, read, enjoy, and then I'm happy to give out my email address. If you would like to see my templates for things, I will send transition sheets to you, or sign-in sheets, or anything like that that you're curious to see. People have been so very kind to me in sending me templates for things that I figure it's the least I can do for anybody who's interested to share that and put that out there. The first thing I want to recommend to you is the Stage Management Handbook. You can get this on Amazon. It's $13 to $15, somewhere in there. This is wonderful. It really gives a breakdown on everything that a stage manager does in detail. There are also some templates in there. I don't actually use these templates. I like mine better. But if you are looking for something basic, this is a good place to definitely start to kind of walk you through and talk you through. The Page to Stage podcast that you can download through iTunes is wonderful. They interview quite a bit of stage managers, Broadway stage managers and opera stage managers and whatever, just kind of talk about the differences. And the last resource that I have is, like I said, my personal email address. If you are interested in seeing what I have, I'm happy to share. I don't claim that my templates are the best, but it's certainly what works for me. And if you would like to see that, I am very happy to share. My email address is hamptonkevin99@gmail.com. If you will reach out to me with what you would like to see, I am happy to send that to you. I've done that for several other people who were stage managing shows for the first time, just to kind of help them and let them see what's what. And they've all come back and said that it was super helpful. So I'm happy to send that to you if you will just ask. In the meantime, between times, stay safe, stay well. I hope that I will get to see you at the theater soon, although it may be a while, who knows. But just stay safe. We'll see you. Bye-bye.